Hey, you, aren't you tired? I mean, I see you. You always walking around like you always on. You're always the one with the perfect green smoothie, the perfect outfit. You're really showing up like you are doing the thing when it comes to lifestyle. However, I am certain that you are spending far more energy showing up and pretending to be living the lifestyle than actually living the healthy life that you want. It's tiring. I know it is. It has to be. Let me ask you, how much energy you spend in looking healthy versus actually being healthy? Because here's the thing. I see it all the time. This is a pattern. You can help me out. Maybe I'm wrong. But the pattern that I see is we debate whether or not we should be intermittent fasting or eating 6 meals a day, whether we should be counting calories, or whether we should be tracking our sleep, or debating about seed oils and lectins, whether they're good or bad. We compare our macros, our step counts, and our sleep scores. And all of that makes us feel like we're really doing something. It keeps us busy, right? So now that you're busy doing all these things, you think you're actually doing something. When in reality, we're just splashing around in the kiddie pool, thinking we're preparing ourselves for an open water swim in the ocean. You know, it's that whole thing. It's the illusion of we're doing some things that are making us get better. I have to be the one to tell you this. But focusing on those superficial things are really not the fix. They're really a strategy for avoiding what's really going on. So the thing that I found with a lot of people is what's really going on is that their foundation is off. They don't have all the different components of a foundation for a healthy life overall, the healthy lifestyle. It's kind of like your basement is flooding, but you are renovating the kitchen. Doesn't work that way. So you can keep prettying everything else up, but really you're just building a house on sand. There's nothing there that's going to be sturdy, so you're going to keep having the same repeated cycle. Now that same repeated cycle, you know the routine. You get the new diet, then all of a sudden the diet stops working. Then it's like, you have the perfect routine till life starts happening. And then we're back at the square one again. So you do all the right things, at least on the outside. So we have this illusion of we're doing the right things and we're under control. However, that's not the case. Now, if we start talking about your foundation, what I mean by that, talking about your stress levels, your relationship with your body, your sleep quality, your ability to regulate your nervous system, and the inflammation quietly building in your system. See, these are all things that we have to get a hold of because they're not sexy, right? They don't make for a great before and after picture. A lot of people don't want to pay attention to those. But that foundation, when we got that solid, that's how we get to the next level of being healthy. So let's agree to something here. From this point forward, no more performance, okay? It's not more perfection. We're not going for that. We're just going to go a little bit deeper and continue to go deeper. So let me share something with you. I believe in my history of working with clients, when people are heard and seen, things begin to change because your nervous system begins to relax. It begins to say this is a safe zone, and when you're in a safe zone, it is safe to heal. See, a lot of people don't have that experience. They're not able to experience what it's like to be in a safe zone and to be heard, because you can go and talk to your friends, but you never get anything real deep with them. You talk to them about superficial things. I need to lose weight. I need, cut about 10 pounds. I need to get in this dress. But you're not going really deep. And what you're going to get back from them, and they're well-meaning, well-intended, I'm certain. But what they're going to bring you back is, hey, you need to get on keto. Hey, Tasha was on the carnivore diet and she lost 20 pounds. It's those types of things that you hear. Did you really feel heard when they said that? No. They just gave you some quick response. Granted, they were well-meaning but it wasn't for you. You weren't being heard. It wasn't about your life, your situation, your body type, your stress. It wasn't about any of those things. It was just about something they've heard. Not necessarily pertaining to you. Right? When you're truly seen and you're truly heard, it's a different experience because somebody understands that you're not alone. You know someone understands not just your symptoms, but you. So you no longer have to hide. And then you also know that you're not doing this alone. So you can stop self-sabotaging, because a lot of people do. We all self-sabotage somewhere. And you know that you no longer have to do this alone. So that's a great feeling, right? People in the Synergy Slim program. It's a way about creating a space where you can finally exhale, relax, and get to healing. So we can talk about what happens when you stop hiding and start healing. But before we do that, let me give you some clues as to why you're staying stuck. So there's some people who benefit from you staying stuck, you continuing on this cycle of lose the weight, gain the weight, lose the weight, gain the weight. There's some very significant people who are players in this story. Now, number one, I'm going to hit the elephant in the room. The pharmaceutical industry, they have you thinking this miracle drug is the end all be all. That's what you've been waiting for all your life. That's the cure. Let's get to the facts of that. The facts of that is that it's basically just shutting down your system. It's going to sit here and it doesn't allow you to crave food. You just don't want to eat. It changes your brain chemistry so that you no longer want to intake food. It doesn't fix your metabolism. Doesn't fix your hormones, doesn't fix your stress levels, doesn't fix any of those things. It just makes you not want to eat. But nobody's telling you about the side effects, the hair loss, the nausea when you eat after a while, the potential pancreatitis and other potential tumors in the thyroid, all the other stuff nobody's talking about. But they're just talking about the magical results. There's also the explosive diarrhea. And the aging. Don't want to talk about that one either. But all of those things are there. So it's not the miracle cure that you've been waiting for all your life. That's not it. That just makes you a customer. And then you're going to need another drug to fix whatever this is broken. Because it's at the end of it, it's going to leave you with a worse metabolism than when you started. So you're going to struggle even more. So what do you do after that? Now, the next people who are up in the play here is the food industry. People talk about we need universal insurance or universal health care. And I tell people all the time, until you fix the food industry, you're never going to do that. You're never going to have that because the food industry runs the show here. They have chemical cocktails and they have food engineering to the point where they make you addicted to certain foods. And while we're saying, hey, we want to live healthier, there are lobbyists in Washington right now trying to, keep away the transparency in the food industry. There's stuff that goes into this manufactured food in a lot of these restaurants, particularly the fast food restaurants, and you have chicken that tastes the same everywhere. How is that? That is definitely a sign of a chemical cocktail of some sort that makes every chicken in every restaurant of that chain taste the exact same. Come on. And where are all these chickens coming from anyway? Is it 100% chicken? Very, very doubtful. At one point in time, Taco Bell was under scrutiny because all the taco meat was not beef. Do you think it's any different than any other restaurant? I don't think so. The food industry has PhD scientists who's been researching over and over the perfect combination of sugar, fat, and salt make it an addiction for you. Keep that in mind. So we have those big players in the game. The next one is your favorite, the diet industry. It's $1 billion business. Because what happens in this diet industry, we're going to keep going back round and round. 95% of people who get on these diets fail. And then at the end of that, they want to tell you it's your fault. It's not that their plan was flawed. It was you. You just didn't have enough discipline. Really? I didn't have enough discipline to go through this and deal with your program? I mean, these are billions and billions of dollars that are being made off of the shaming people for saying that they don't have enough discipline. But never acknowledging that the foods that we eat are engineered to make us addicted. Never saying that, these drugs that apparently they try to make into the miracle cure are really more harmful than they are helpful. I mean, yes, people are losing weight, but none of us know what the true cost of losing those few pounds are. So doing something more like a real healthy situation is, I'm going to say your safest bet. Synergy Slim in this case is your safest bet when it comes to something like that. I'm not part of Synergy Slim's not part of that system. I don't need you coming back. I want you to get right and move on and grab someone else and help them get right. And if you're a mom, take care of the whole family. Have the whole family right. The healthier you are, the better off everybody is. Whether that's you, your significant other, your children, all those people are better when you get better. That's why we put this together. It's a program to get you to where you need to be, to build a foundation. Because if you have the foundation right, you can build anything off of the foundation that you want, if the foundation is solid. So a big thing that we do is getting the foundation solid. So you know that every decision you make after that is something that's going to be beneficial for everyone. You already know what the right decision is. Now, I could go on and on about all these different, the industries and what they're doing, that trifecta of terror that's terrorizing your digestive system. But there's no point in that. What I really want to focus on is you. My dad used to tell me, anything you can conceive and believe, you can achieve. And I believe that's the same for you. If it's you about having you a different body, if you can see yourself there, you can believe it, we can help you get there. We can give you the roadmap. In addition to coach you along the way, roll down that road with you to help you get to where you're trying to go. It's not that you failed or that you're not disciplined enough, because we all have our imperfections and, our doubts and fears. That's real. We can all deal with that. But you think the gap that you think between where you are and where you want to be, why you think it's like this wide, the reality of it is it's only about this big. And it's just consistent steps on a consistent basis to get you to where you want to go. It doesn't take anything dramatic, just that consistent action, consistent steps, consistent action there, and it makes it happen. That is what we're looking for. Know that you don't need this superhuman willpower. You don't have to have, there's no genetic advantages here. It's just consistency. And it's not something that you don't possess. Like, it's not something that you're not capable of. When you realize how simple, when you realize how these steps actually are, you'll stop buying the magic pills. You'll stop buying the potions. You'll stop buying the miracle solutions. You'll stop buying all the miracle detoxes, everything else. That won't matter to you. You'll stop looking outside yourself for solutions. You'll find them within, where they always are. They've always have been. Now you're just giving yourself permission to open them up and listen to them. Because you'll have that foundation that you need to move forward and get to the next thing. Now, I know the first step is terrifying. First step is something that nobody really wants to take. You're embarking on a mission you never embarked on before. Now, I won't lie to you and say it's easy. Definitely not easy. But understand this. On the other side of that terrifying step is the person that you've always wanted to meet. They're waiting for you there. And I know part of that is you have to trust the process. You have to trust the guidance. You have to trust yourself when trust has been broken before. You have to do all those things. That's why it's so terrifying. Now, I won't lie to you, it is not easy because it's a lot that we have to overcome. I won't pretend that deciding to change is the same as being changed. However, deciding to change is the first step in being changed. Now, the Synergy Slim program is something that feels different because it is different. Because at the end of that, you're reclaiming your body, you're reclaiming your energy, you're reclaiming your confidence. All the things that seem to escape you in these other roles, these other programs that you may have tried before. Because what's happening now is you're going to stop performing wellness and you're going to start living. So if you made it this far, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to book a call with me so we can talk about your journey with this Synergy Slim program and getting you to the health that you want to be. Maybe that's weight loss. Maybe that's decreasing your anxiety. Whatever it may be, let's get you there, because Synergy Slim is the big cover because each person is different. So we'll break it down for you And let's get you back to the health that you deserve and build you the foundation that you can build a skyscraper. There should be a link around this video for you to book your call, and I will see you on the other side.